What's up, everybody? Welcome into NBA DFS Live for Wednesday, February 10th. I'm your host, Ben Hosser, joined by Justin Bales. Bales, I've had a rough couple days of basketball this week, so I need to get it back on track tonight, hopefully. Um, I think it's an interesting slate. The Thunder, are down to eight guys again, so we're going to be looking at some
Terrible.
Thunder players. The Nets Pistons stack. Was the nuts last night. I think that really there's two games I like on this slate, which is Nets Pacers and the Hornets Grizzlies. I think is a good game. So I really like those two games, but um, I think there's some interesting spots that we'll go over here. So what is your thoughts on this slate?
I like it. I would add Atlanta Dallas as a really good game and Toronto Washington lesser so, but I do feel like there is some fantasy appeal there. So not a good game, but one you can attack for fantasy. Overall, I think the slate's pretty good. It always kind of sucks when you have a team like Oklahoma City where you're going to play someone that gets like 80% ownership, but I mean, I guess it loosens up salary, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Bales has the questions up, so if you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat, but we'll just kind of get going here. We're going to go position by position, as always. And I do want to note, if you guys are subscribers or you guys are interested in final thoughts, we built the sheet into the website, so instead of it being a screen cap of what the sheet looks like, it's just going to be on the website now, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to fill them out, and you'll be able to see it like in real time as like it's updating. So I'll be able to update it. I'll try and do it earlier in the day, and then I'll just update it again, like at the normal time, like an hour before lock. But it's going to be a lot easier to view, and it's going to look a lot better. So I'm excited for that. But let's get into things. Point guard Luka, I think is clearly the top projection here. You can see best projected player on the slate at 60 DK points. Super good matchup. What is your thoughts on Luka today, Bales?
Yeah, I really like Luka. I think we said it literally the other day, but it's back to the Atlanta Trae Young and Luka whole fiasco together. The last time they played, Luka dropped 64. I think Trae was actually pretty bad in that game, so he could be looking for a little bit of his revenge tonight. But for me, I feel like there's 4 point guards that are kind of the top of the top tonight. I guess you could actually probably say there's 6, but I think 4 really stick out for me. But of the top 2, it's Luka and James Harden, obviously, at 10-8 and 10-4. I think if I'm just picking one, I would prefer Luka, I think. But if you're also more or less just like stacking the Brooklyn game, obviously you're going to want to put James Harden in there. But I do think that both are really good options at the top of point guard.
Yeah, those are clearly the top two. I think I slightly lean Harden with Durant still out, but it's a coin flip. I have no issues with either of them. I'm just like, I know for a fact I'm going to be playing Sabonis, which we'll get to, and then I want to play Brogdon as well, so I think it makes more sense roster construction wise to use Harden, but I have no issues with Luka. I think it's not that great of a matchup individually, but he did have over 60 DK points against them the last time they played. So, and he's coming off like a floor game, so you kind of feel good that he got like the dud out, right?
Yeah,
because it's unlikely
yeah.
that he's going to do that 2 games in a row.
Yep.
All right, outside of those two, you do have Trey there at 9-9. Tournaments is fine. Kyrie at 9,100. I played Kyrie last night. I'm fine with him again today. And then you have LaMelo Ball at 85. I wrote LaMelo Ball up. I don't know if I'll play him because Brogdon is so much cheaper, but I mean he's leading the team in usage, point per minute production. He's still leading them if you take Graham off the floor. He's going to start at point guard again. I know his price is up, but I mean it's really tough to overlook what he's been doing, and I think the matchup is decent, and I think it's going to be a close game. Like I said, I like that game. It's only a 4-point spread, so I do like LaMelo again tonight.
Yeah, I'm fine with LaMelo. I think my main problem with him is that I feel like at the moment I would just rather play Russell Westbrook for 84 because, it's just way too cheap for Russell Westbrook at the moment. But yeah, I don't have any issues really at all with LaMelo.
Yeah, it is funny to see Russ at that price. I have no issues with him in tournaments today, but not someone I'm going to play in cash, mainly because Brogdon, who I just alluded to, 7,400,
Mhm.
just a really good matchup. Like Brooklyn has been so bad defensively since they made the trade for Harden, and I think like given this Pacers team that you kind of know where the usage is going to go, and it's Sabonis and Brogdon. So I think that I think they're both really good plays today, and they're both underpriced. So
Yeah, Brogdon's one of the point guards, one of the four that really sticks out. And then the two other at 7,300, I think you can take a shot on either, is Kyle Lowry, who I wrote up. Seems like with some of the other guys around his price tag and more expensive, like Luka and Harden will garner ownership, Lowry's kind of going overlooked. Same price though, Ja Morant against Charlotte. If I'm just choosing between the two, I prefer Kyle Lowry slightly, but I do believe that Ja Morant probably gets less ownership, and they have very similar projections. I would say very similar ceilings in the matchups, and I feel like you're fine with either of the two. I just slightly prefer Lowry.
yeah, I think Lowry's fine, and we can throw Terry Rozier in there at 6,200 on DraftKings with Graham still out. I think he's fine. Not sure if I'll go there in cash, but I have no issues with him at that price.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you have anyone cheaper? Um, I think like Kenrick Williams has point guard on DraftKings. He's 4,700, kind of with the Thunder injuries and how thin they are. I think he's going to be a popular play, but he also has small forwards, so people will probably use him there.
Yeah, he was the one that I was going to outline. I think if you want like super cheap, DJ Augustine is mediocre. I think that you can find value elsewhere on the slate, but like if you're dying to play a cheap point guard, Augustine's only 34 and he should get around 20 minutes.
Yeah, um, I'm cool with that in tournaments for like a punt. We can move on to shooting guard. So Harden obviously is the top player who we just talked about, and then you have Bradley Beal at 93, Zach LaVine at 9K. Are you playing outside of Harden because we talked to him? Are you playing Beal or LaVine today? I think they're good tournament plays, but not really high up on my board.
Yeah, I'm fine if you want to play either of them. It's just for their prices, probably not where I'm going to end up going. I think if I'm playing one of the two, it'll probably be Levine. I think I lean him slightly for a little bit cheaper, but I'm actually fine with either of them. I just doubt that's where I end up.
Yeah, so I think we kind of dropped down a little bit here to the mids here. So you have Rozier here, who I just talked about. Kevin Herter with some of the Hawks have a couple wings out, so I think that bumps him up a little bit, as well as Gallinari, who we'll talk about at small forward. I think you can look at him. Where's like your main targets at shooting guard? You also have Diallo as well from the Thunder. Price is up at 6,500, but he's really going to be one of the main offensive players tonight with SGA out. So I don't love the matchup or the price, but I mean the usage should be there. So he is in my cash game pool. I'm not sure if I'll play him, but he's in consideration.
Yeah, I really like Diallo. I just wish that he wasn't playing the Lakers, honestly, but
Yeah,
he's one of my top plays at shooting guard. I also think if you're paying up more, Chris Middleton at 79 is fine. Dylan Brooks is 55. I do like him. Right below him, Denzel Valentine is coming off of somewhat of a dud, but he still is projecting to get plenty of minutes. And, you know, he's pretty much caught fire recently. So his ownership's going to really drop now that he's 5,300, but I do think that he's fine. Um, I guess if you want like someone super cheap, Torrey Craig is only 3,200 and should get 20 plus minutes. So I don't necessarily hate that. And then Josh Richardson at 5,200, I actually do like against Atlanta. I feel like it's a good matchup, and Richardson's been more involved recently. So I do think that he's a high upside option. I probably wouldn't trust him in cash games because he just doesn't get much usage. But if his shot's falling, he comes with a lot of upside for really a pretty low price tag.
yeah. I really liked the Mavericks move for Josh Richardson when they made it. He hasn't really gelled in like I thought he would, but I do think that the price is good, and you would assume that he eventually is going to just start playing better. So I'm definitely fine with that. We can add Lou Dorden. I know we have this conversation all the time, but
That's fair.
they're
I think
just
it's
so
fair.
yeah, they're just so thin. He's only 4,400, so I think we could add him in there as well. But like you said, matchup is not super good against the Lakers.
No, I agree. Would you take a shot on anyone like Caleb Martin? Not that I want to, but if he gets like 20 plus minutes, he's pretty cheap.
Yeah, so I kind of liked him. I think that was the Sunday slate. It was the first day that Graham was out, which I think was Sunday. I didn't play him, but I was kind of interested. He didn't play as much as I thought he would, but he should get minutes, with Graham out. Like he should at least be like 20 to 25 or so. So, um, yeah, if you need like a tournament dart, I don't hate it.
I can't do it. Torrey Craig's 100 cheaper. I would play
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah. All right, we'll go to small forward. This is interesting because I think on FanDuel, Kawhi Leonard's going to be really chalky because you have to play two small forwards. But on DraftKings, he's 9,400. I don't think he's going to get much ownership. The matchup is really good, and Paul George is out. So why is no one playing Kawhi on DraftKings, Bales?
I have no clue. I think Kawhi Leonard honestly is one of the better plays on the slate. I feel like if he doesn't dominate every game with Paul George out, once he didn't do well, people kind of soured on him and were like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if George is out," rather than him just happening to have a bad game. Especially because he played Sacramento in his last game and he really struggled from the field, but he was super chalk in that game, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he was very owned.
So I'm assuming people are just, you know, still kind of pissed off about it. I think he'll get ownership. It isn't going to be nearly what it should be.
Yeah, I can just tell he's going to be really low owned on DraftKings, which I think is really interesting. Do you have anyone like in the tier below him? Because I mean, I kind of talked about Herder. You have like Joe Harris there. Like those guys are fine. I think Kyle Anderson at 56. He started at power forward last game. I think he's going to get a bunch of ownership today. I'm fine with him. Like I think he's a good play, but I don't like Kyle Anderson when he's really chalky. I just hate playing him when he's chalk.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but he's at a price where it's going to be really hard for him to beat you because if he's getting the 30 plus minutes and playing power forward, I mean, he seems like a really safe play to me.
Yeah, he's a good cash game play. Just tournaments, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just have weird vibes with Kyle Anderson when he's chalk.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely don't have to go there in tournaments, but I think in cash he's really, really good play.
Yeah. Do you have anyone like who are you looking at below him? Like Kendrick Williams is there at 47, who we talked about at point guard a little bit. I think he's going to be owned, and then Gallinari I think is going to be popping, especially on FanDuel. He's really cheap on FanDuel, but he's just going to be a popular play with Hunter and some of those guys out. I have no issues with him really in all formats.
I think at the same price of Kyle Anderson, you can go Will Barton. He's just getting a ton of minutes with Gary Harris and PJ Dozier out, so I have no problems there. Dorian Finney-Smith, I feel like I say him all the time on this podcast, is 44. That's not really bad whatsoever. And then one guy that I'm still debating my interest in is Doug McDermott. He's 4,800, but he gets the Brooklyn matchup. And if he's going to see around 30 minutes, which, he's been playing a very surprisingly large role in the Indiana rotation. If he's going to keep seeing it, 4,800 is really cheap for that matchup, especially because we know that McDermott can score really well.
Yeah. I'm always down for some McBuckets, honestly.
I knew you would be.
I am. I'm always interested in tournaments and him, so I have no real issues there. I will note, like, I wouldn't be shocked if like some value opens up later. So that's why final thoughts are being in Discord comes in handy because the other night, like when Drew Holiday got rolled out after lock, like a lot of my players had already locked, so I couldn't do much. But that's like the perfect instance of why you want to be in Discord because James kind of posted right when that news broke, like you really want to get to DiVincenzo or someone like that if you have room to, and then obviously Middleton and DiVincenzo both had really big games. So I won't be shocked if we get some more value opening up as we get closer to lock per usual.
Yeah, especially on the larger slates. That just like is a thing that seems to happen nightly. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Power forward, Giannis at the top, 10-6. And then you have Sabonis at 86. That's a big gap. I think Sabonis is going to be chalky once again. I don't understand why they keep pricing him below 9K on DraftKings, but it's a really good matchup. Brooklyn has struggled with big men, and I think that like fast paced honestly plays into Sabonis style because he can really fill up the stat sheet. So I think he's a really strong play. You want to play him in cash games. Where would you rank Giannis amongst like Luca and Harden? I guess we could throw Kawhi in as well.
Probably third. I think I would have Luca first, Harden second, Giannis third, Kawhi fourth.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not sure though.
It's
I don't
tough.
know. I would need to think about that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think
We didn't
I
even say
think
Joker either.
yeah. I think Harden will have the most ownership, and then I think Luca will be second in ownership. So I think those
Yeah,
will
I
be
think
the
that.
two
Yeah,
highest owned.
I think so too. I feel like Giannis is a really good tournament play. I just with like very obviously you're going Sabonis here in cash, and then you're either filling your center or your forward spot with Roby.
Yep.
It's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be kind of tough for people to fit in Giannis as well.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Roby. He's 3,700 on DraftKings. The Thunder, like we said, they only have 8 guys tonight. He is likely going to come off the bench. So when the Thunder lineup alert hits, like don't tilt that Roby's not starting because I'm not expecting him to start. Um, but he's going to get a lot of backup center minutes, and he's going to play alongside Baisley and Horford anyways because they only have 8 guys, so he's going to have to. So he's going to play 25 to 30 minutes, and he's like a point per minute player, and he's 3,700. So it just you're gonna play him. That's just a misprice. So you're gonna lock
Mhm.
like for cash. I think you lock him in Sabonis in honestly. So
Yeah, I agree.
we're kind of looking at the guys in between them on DK. Who are the guys you like in between, like in that whole mid tier and then the lower mid tier as well?
To be honest, there's not like a ridiculous amount that I love. I think Darius Baisley is an interesting option. I was off him the other night because I just didn't like the matchup. Again, I don't like the matchup, but Baisley, basically shut me up at scoring 50 fantasy points. It is what it is, but it's the same matchup again tonight. So I feel like he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. I think there's a lot of options that we talked about at small forward, like Kyle Anderson, Doug McDermott, that you can use here. And honestly, that's more or less it. I feel like if I'm moving off of I can tell you now, I'm not going to move off the Roby chalk. That's 100% I'm going to play him. If I happen to move off of the Sabonis chalk, which I still don't know, realistically, you're probably going to want to play him in tournaments too. Most likely I'll be shifting to Giannis, Kyle Anderson, or maybe Doug McDermott, but not a whole lot that I love at power forward.
Yeah, I think we could throw Miles Bridges in for tournaments with Graham out. He's played really well the last 2 games, over 30 DK points in both. I don't mind tournament shot on him. And then kind of the two other cheaper guys, like these are tournament plays only for me, but Frank Kaminsky is in that McDermott tier as well as Torian Prince. Prince, should see mid-20s in minutes with Larry Nance out for the Cavs, and then Kaminsky hasn't been that bad, honestly.
He's been
Like
good. I just don't. I just don't trust it. I don't know about you, but like I don't
No, I
trust that he's
don't.
going to get big minutes. And if he's not getting big minutes, what are the chances that he beats 48 as bad as you need him to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bobby Portis is down to 49.
Oh,
About
jeez.
time to start getting interested in that.
Keep Bobby Portis off this pod.
Yeah. Davis Bertans is 4,600. He started in the Wizards last game. If he starts again, I think you could definitely take a tournament shot on him. And then I guess like Marcus Morris with PG out is still like 4,500 isn't great, but we didn't really talk about Batum either. Like I think both those guys are in play with PG out. It's just probably not for cash.
Yeah, I don't think either can be used in cash, but I don't mind either in tournaments. They just aren't super high on my list or anything. Another guy that I don't really mind in tournaments, kind of expensive though, and not really someone that I'm going to be forcing into lineups or anything. But Pascal Siakam does come with a lot of upside, especially in a matchup against a team like the Wizards.
Yeah, I have no issues with Siakam against the Wizards in GPPs. Center, I mean, Jokic should destroy the Cavs. Like, I don't really see how they're gonna stop him. But 11, I mean, he's the most expensive guy, and he comes at center. Like, we're already playing Roby and Sabonis,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're gonna
Yep.
have to use him at utility, which hurts. But I think it's gonna lower his ownership. I don't think he's gonna be owned. I think it's a really good matchup, man.
I love it, dude. I think
It's a
he's
really
going to
good
be
matchup,
really
man.
low owned because everyone, if you're paying up, they're just going to play Luca or Harden, right? And
Yeah.
then you're going to have some that trickle off on Giannis too. Like I can't imagine paying 9,000 for Joker, which is why you should be doing it. And the dude's just been incredible. Cleveland has no one that's going to slow him down. And you know he's going to be playing on defense near the basket because Drummond's going to be in.
Yeah, this is similar to like Embiid last night, where just no one was playing him. Like he's putting up MVP numbers, and just no one's playing him because he doesn't like kind of fit the optimal construction. But for tournaments, like I don't care about that, you know. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna go play Joker and Cash, but
Yeah, yeah.
like my main tournament team, I would want to probably get him in because I just don't see why anyone plays him. He has as much upside as anyone else.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think he honestly might be becoming my
Yeah,
favorite
dude, it's
high
great.
price guy.
How are they gonna stop him, dude? It's gonna be bad.
But I'm also really high on Kawhi Leonard against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a lineup that has Joker and Kawhi Leonard and
Yeah,
just see
just
what
don't play.
happens.
Yeah, don't play the other guys. I think that's fine. Um, Drummond is really cheap on FanDuel. I think he's going to get some ownership. He's like 7,700. I think he'll be owned there. I don't like him much on DraftKings, and that's because Jonas Valanciunas is 7,400, and I'm interested in him in tournaments. I think he's a really good play.
Yeah, Valanciunas just went absolutely berserk.
Yeah, he's coming off a 60 bomb.
He had, dude, he scored. I think he scored like 40 plus in the first half, didn't he?
Yeah,
It was
he
crazy. I
started
think
out really.
yeah, he was almost at like 2020 by half. 6K. Miles Turner's way too cheap at 6,000. The problem is, do I want to play Miles Turner with Sabonis and Brogdon? Because
Yeah,
Brogdon's at his best when he's in triple double form. Sabonis is at his best when he's rebounding, obviously. Um, so if you're kind of taking away from Miles Turner in that situation, you know what I mean?
yeah. If you don't have those guys, getting Turner would be fine, I think. But I'm not going to play them with them. Do you have anyone else? Because I think like we talked about Roby, who's gonna be really chalk, and then we also have Willie Hernangomez, who's coming off 38 DraftKings points last night. I think he's definitely gonna be a thing tonight. I don't mind him, but I'm not going out of my way to purposely play him because he did like it was a blowout and he played like the whole fourth quarter last night and got a lot of points. He has been scoring decent. Like if you look at his last couple games, like 29 minutes, 19, 18, 19, and then 25 last night. So he's been getting minutes. He's basically getting all the backup minutes behind Steven Adams, and it's a really good matchup in Chicago. So he could certainly have a good game again, and he's 3,400. So even if he only plays mid-teens in minutes or gets like right to that 20 mark, like that's fine for 3,400, and it's a good matchup. So I don't mind playing him, but there is a slight chance that he gets an ownership bump just because he had 38 DraftKings points last night.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think people are going to play him because they're going to go back to it. And I don't think he's a bad play by any means. I just also think,
Yeah,
I don't
like we
really
prefer
want to waste.
Roby, but like people will play them together, obviously. But like if you're only choosing one, like I feel better about Roby. He's gonna play more minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I think other guys, there's a few other guys that you can mention strictly for tournaments. One, DeAndre Ayton. He's only 7,100. He's coming off a pretty big game. Al Horford is 62 is going to see about 30 minutes, and I don't really mind him whatsoever. DeAndre Jordan, I don't love, but I do think that there's upside there. And then Chris Boucher against Washington, I feel like is a very good tournament option.
Yeah, no issues with Boucher in tournaments at all. I think we covered it pretty well. We forgot to do bold calls the other day, so I'm making sure that you give me a bold call today, Bales.
Oh, geez. I will go. Joker has a 30-plus point triple double.
That is bold. I love it, man. I want to play him so bad, dude.
I'm playing him.
I can
I'm
feel
telling you,
no
he's
one
in.
playing him.
He's
Yeah,
in.
I want to play him too. I was gonna go with LaMelo Ball triple double, so we have 2 triple double calls tonight, which is
I
interesting.
like it. I like it.
All right, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other questions, you can hit us up at Discord. Like I said, final thoughts got a new look. It's gonna be under the. I think there's a whole page for it on the website. Under the NBA tab, you can find it there. Be sure to check out all the free content, including Bale's articles at dfscover.com. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck tonight.